Just to see this change the subcommittee.
Yeah, I thought those were part of that document.
No.
Yeah.
We'll make sure those are changed too. We have any other discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
And 10, 11, 12. But if anyone sees anything else on the schedule that may be a conflict or they may need a change, you know, we can certainly entertain that. Yes, Commissioner McMahon.
Mr. Chair, in February, and this isn't a big deal, I will be in town on the 13th, 14th, and 15th, but I'm leaving the morning of the 16th, and I want to know if we could move that up, if everyone's okay moving that up from the 6th through the 9th for February. If anyone has a problem with that, or?
I'll actually be out of town the week of the 6th.
Okay. If I'm gone on that Thursday and there's votes, can I join via teleconference, or how does that work?
We've never had it before. You're just not here, so. I've been here for 6 years, we never had it, so.
And I know other counties allow that, so I guess I'm asking.
I know in my time we haven't had to do it. We've never had that.
We don't have that capability here yet, so.
We don't have capability of what, a phone?
We don't have we never had it before, so.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is other counties offer it, whether it's Skype or it's a telephone or whatever, to cast votes, so. If we don't have the technology, I guess we don't have the technology, and I'll miss those days.
Well, there's always moving it to the week of the 20th. I know the 20th is a holiday, but we could put all the committees on Tuesday and just do a shortened week of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If that works for your timeout, your timeout.
Well, and I guess before we do that, does anyone else have any issues with any other weeks that are on the calendar?
We don't always know that far ahead. I mean, I don't think people's gonna move the calendar around for me because I can't be in one meeting, some special thing comes up, so.
I have my
Take
calendar lined up
December, so.
to next December, so I know when I'm gonna be in town and when I'm not, so. I guess I'm asking everyone else with work schedules and conferences and stuff, everyone else is okay?
If we're gonna start moving stuff around, I'd like to move the November one.
I concur on that one. That was my second one, but I was gonna let that one go,
Where are you gonna move that one to?
because that's the deer hunting week.
Go to the 6th then in November? We can do the 6th through the 9th in November. So are we staying at the 13th in February, or are you just gonna miss you're out of town completely that week?
Yes.
So we'll keep 13th and we'll see what we can do for
Okay.
the 16th.
But I mean, I'd like to make a suggestion going forward, and maybe we could ask the clerk to look into what it would take to enhance our capabilities to allow commissioners to dial in remotely in some fashion and participate in the discussion. I think
Sure.
Whether it's a telephone or whether it's a laptop with Skype or something like that, so.
it's very rudimentary. I think there's an
Yeah,
opportunity.
I mean, the thing is, I'm flying in the morning, but at 5 o'clock on that Thursday, I'll be able to, I could join by phone or teleconference or whatever, so.
I'll check into it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so at this time we have just November's gonna change then, from the 13th through the 16th through the 6th through the 9th.
What you changing now?
November's the only one we're changing. February's staying the same. November is moving up a week, the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Oh, okay.
I don't think anyone else has any.
Well, I'd like to change one move around just for the heck of it.
You wanna pick a month you wanna change?
Yeah.
Yeah, pick a month you wanna
Yeah.
change, Gary.
As long as everybody's moving everything
All
around.
right, yeah. Do we have anything else, times? By I know Commissioner Marks had a conflict with the scheduling.
Yeah, I'd like to move back an hour at 5 o'clock. That'd be general consensus.
Does anybody have any opposition to moving meetings to 5 and then 5:15 for committee, 5 and 5:15 for committees?
I would like to bring up, if we're gonna do that, I think without just doing that, we need to figure out what it's gonna cost. I mean, you're gonna have to start having employees stay over, or are we gonna keep Pat and Kaylee over, and are we gonna compensate them, and,
I think you compensate them, I think you have them, you know, some employees are salaried, so it doesn't matter, and ones that are hourly offer comp time or,
Yeah. I think for salaried employees, we can certainly make up the hour that we're here, if that, and then usually, now with the meetings being streamed, I mean, people can see the meetings if they're just coming to attend. If they strictly have business that they need to come over here for, I don't think we'll have an issue moving back to 5.
I'd like to keep it at 4, the same way. It's been like that for years, so, for the last 20 years, so. That's just me, so.
I don't have an opinion one way or the other, except I think the 5 o'clock hour makes it more accessible for the public. And so I don't think that's certainly a bad thing. Personally, it doesn't matter.
I think the only other thing with that is township meetings, a lot of them start at 7 o'clock. Me going to Scioto Township and that, by 6:30, I gotta leave, so if we start running our meetings later and they're not over with, then I just have to be excused.
I mean, quite frankly, I'm coming up from Ann Arbor, so.
Yeah, my mental health meetings start at 5:30.
Can we split the difference and make it 4:30?
But I don't know, that's, you know, it's not it's only once a month, you know, my mental health, so. And it doesn't always fall on the same, it doesn't fall on the same Monday that our meetings is always either, so I'd have to check on that, so. I don't know, when are the mental health, I haven't got them all. If I'm on that board. Who else is on it?
Mr. Chair, do you mind if we ask our clerk or our finance director for their input on changing the meeting times and any potential implications?
The only implication would be for staff who are non-salaried, who have to come and put a presentation on. They would earn comp time, which doesn't cost us anything, but it does remove the person from working hours more. But it's not a financial burden to do that.
I think we should make it though, that they get comp time instead of time and a half or something.
Well, they do get comp time unless they're hourly.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was a code or if that was just up to the department heads.
It's federal law.
Oh,
As far as my opinion, I see both sides, but I know that when I was an employee, and it was hard to come over to a commissioners meeting because some department heads may not have been understanding as to why you might want to come over and be involved in a meeting. And so we might see more of the employees want to be here and participate. I mean, it's great that we do the technology, but no offense, I mean, when I get home, I'm not turning on my computer to watch commissioners meetings. So I think if they have the availability to be here, but, you know, all of our lives are busy, and so it's really kind of difficult to make that decision.
What's the consensus of the board, Commissioner McMaster?
I'm in support of moving it to 5 o'clock or even later. I know a lot of counties, have their meetings in the evening so public can attend, and like the clerk mentioned, so county employees can attend. I know at least 3 of us on a regular day basis are at least 1, 2, or 3 counties away from here. Not that, you know, that minority should rule over everything, but there is obviously travel time. I'm probably the most flexible of the 3 of us, but it would help if it was at 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever time.
Commissioner Buck?
5 o'clock is fine with me.
5 o'clock.
Mr. Castro?
5 is fine with me. I wouldn't oppose keeping it at 4 either, but.
Commissioner Holzhausen?
I'd rather keep it at 4.
Mr. Bartz?
I will go to 5. Compromise. I truly believe anything later than that would jeopardize, I don't know if you gentlemen are all aware of how many meetings that you are supposed to go to in the evening. And most of them start at, by 7 o'clock. So if we go to 6, 7 o'clock, then somebody's gonna be missing meetings. We've been through this.
How often do we go past 6 or 6:30?
It happens.
Once in a while, not, 10%, 20%.
I think just
depends.
recently with the windmill
Right.
stuff
I
was
was
keeping
saying.
us here, but other than that, we're not usually.
A hot issue will keep.
The end of the year seems to have a pretty full agenda. But I think we're usually in and out of here pretty fast. And I know a lot of my meetings are, I have first Mondays,
Yeah.
second Thursdays, meetings like that, all of the townships kind of, usually mine can work out that they don't often have a conflict, sometimes. But there is MTA meetings, there will be subcommittee meetings that are in the evening that we'll want to be at. So, point noted. So I think with the consensus.
Yeah, all the mental health are at 5:30, so, and I was on 2 subcommittees over there too, so. But we can't make them all, so.
Well, let's see what we can do. So if the consensus is 5 and 5:15, committee of the whole being 5 and the full board being 5. The only change to the calendar being November, first week in November, the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Those changes observed, do I have a motion to accept the meeting schedule?
I'll make that motion.
Have a motion? A second? We've had plenty of discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Say that.
I oppose.
All right.
I like that.
Good work. All right, and we'll move to the appointment of the committees. For our committee of the whole, we'll put the vice chair, Mike Bruff, as the chairman, and Commissioner McMaster as the vice chair, with all the other members. Economic and Physical Development Committee, chairperson will be Commissioner Coscarelli, the vice chair will be Commissioner Bartz, with Commissioner McMaster also sitting on that board. Finance and Administration Committee will be, chairman will be Commissioner Marks, the vice chair will be Commissioner Coscarelli, Commissioner Bruff sitting as the third member. Public Safety and Courts, chairperson will be Commissioner Bruff, vice chair Commissioner Bartz, with Commissioner Holzhausen sitting on that board. Health and Human Services, chair Commissioner McMaster, vice chair Commissioner Marks, Commissioner Bruff, third person on that board. For our subcommittees, Ag Preservation Board, Commissioner Marks, Airport Board, Richard Musson, CACS, Commissioner McMaster, Central Dispatch Board, Commissioner Marks, Community Corrections, Commissioner Root, GLS Region 5, Commissioner McMaster, Mental Health Authority Board, Commissioner Holzhausen and Commissioner Bruff. The Midwest Michigan Authority Board, Commissioner Coscarelli. MTA would be Commissioner Bartz and Commissioner Root. Parks and Recreation would be Commissioner Bartz. Public Health would be Commissioner Marks and Commissioner Bruff. Solid Waste, Commissioner Coscarelli. Solid Waste Committee, Commissioner Coscarelli. Council on Aging, Commissioner Holzhausen and Commissioner Bruff. AAA will be Commissioner Holzhausen. The next Michigan Development Corporation, the I-69 corridor, will be Commissioner Coscarelli. The Region 1 Homeland Security Planning Board alternate will be Commissioner Bartz. The GST Works Governing Board will be Commissioner McMaster and Commissioner Holzhausen. And then Planning Commission will be Commissioner Bruff. And the SEDP will be Commissioner Marks. I believe that's all we have. Now, if anybody has any kind, I did have the schedule We're still missing a few on these schedules of the times of when these meetings meet, whether they're quarterly meetings, whether they're once a month, whether they're noon start times, 4 PM, 7 PMs. I kind of put that schedule together, and I'll work more with Katie to try to get more of them, so that everybody can kind of figure out if it works with their schedule. I tried to throw these together the best I could, with everybody kind of having a part in everything. But definitely, if people have conflicts with schedules that won't be able to attend, definitely let us know, and we can either swap you with another commissioner, or, because we want to have someone there in attendance. And if you can, it's not a problem. We can definitely get somebody to go. So just be open to them. If there's any conflicts that anybody sees now, certainly let me know. If not, we move to the call to the public at this time. Sid Grinnell.
Gentlemen, I kind of introduced myself to all of you. I wonder who was going to be the new Director of Economic Development. I guess it's Mr. Pasquale. And I want to talk to him after the meeting if I could. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment at this time?
For you that don't know me, I'm your former acting emergency management coordinator for the county. And with the new board, we're going to have some training coming up that I need you to do. It'll be online. If you're familiar with the NIMS Incident Command, it's 100 and 200. It's an online course. It gives 15, 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. Pretty simple stuff, but it's a prerequisite for if we have a disaster or a FEMA event. It's a box we have to check. And I need everybody to do it, because if something happens, we wipe out most of the commissioners, and we have 2 left, you 2 are in charge of signing the declaration. I can't sign it. Typically, it's board and board chair, vice chair, but like I said, if you're all gone, we only have 2 left. You are the 2. So I need everybody to do it. Commissioner Marks has it already taken care of. He did it last 2 years ago. You might have had it from the hospital, maybe.
Yeah.
If you have it, send me your certificate, and you're good to go. It's not time consuming. I will send an email out with a link, so it'll be real simple. It'll be going to your Shiawassee email. Are they all going to get Shiawassee emails?
They've already been assigned.
Perfect. So I will send them to you, and also I'll send it to Kayleen, and she can forward it to the group. I look forward to working with you. If you have any questions, I'll give you all my business card before I leave. So if you have any concerns, questions, I'm always available. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment at this time?
Can we get a motion in the second to elect Commissioner Brown to the chairman? We don't have a motion for it.
Did we need it? I figured it's kind of,
Yeah, we need a motion in a second.
has not, okay.
I would move to appoint Commissioner Brown as Vice Chairman.
Second.
In a second. All those in favor? Say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We had discussed having the county attorney, Bonnie Toski, come in and do some training for you. She'll be doing it free of charge. She has available January 11th or 12th next week. Can I get a reading on which day would work for you, if at all? So we can get that set up. Since we're meeting next week, it should be one of the meeting days, then we can possibly do it before or after.
Yeah, we could do it like 4. I think it only lasted an hour, about.
Yeah.
Like 4 o'clock or 2:30 on one of the days.
You want to do it before, or do you want to do it after?
After.
After? You'll probably need after, Commissioner Marks.
I prefer it.
We're gonna do it after committee of the whole or the board meeting on Thursday.
I'd say after.
You should be available after hours.
I'll find out. I think she anticipated it doing it during the day, but don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth.
We'd also talked about the possibility of coordinating that with some department heads,
Yes.
providing some overviews to commissioners. I don't know if that's still possible, or we want to go ahead and have that legal training first, right out of the gate, and then schedule something with department heads later with the new commissioners or those that are interested.
I was hoping to get everything done in one day. If before 4 o'clock isn't possible for you to be here, we could potentially get the department heads to come after the meeting. If we did Bonnie at 4 o'clock at the meeting and then have the department heads come in after that on the same day, it would be a long day for you, but it would get everything out of the way.
Which day?
You're deciding on the 11th or the 12th of next week.
What's that, Wednesday or Thursday night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 11th is preferable for me if it's during the day or the evening, but I can be flexible on those as
So-
well.
Wednesday, you wanna try to do that then? We'll do the training before, try to do that at 4. Have the board meeting then at 5. And for the other commissioners that'd like to meet with department heads, get a kind of an overview. That can be after, we say the 11th, after the committee of the whole meeting?
I mean, is there interest by the other commissioners to hear from the department heads and receive some? So, and rather not rush it, I mean, I wonder if we could just carve out time during the day. It doesn't have to occur when Bonnie's here, but, I mean, I'd rather not give it short shrift because I'd like
No.
to spend some time hearing from them and.
I think it's important that you do meet them all and get to know what's going on, and it could take a couple hours to actually spend some time, so,
So in other words, if we could hear from Bonnie next Wednesday, and then just schedule something with the department heads where we can allocate whatever time is needed, maybe during the day or one late afternoon, rather than just trying to get it done to get it done.
do you want to do it on a non-board meeting week? Or do you want to do it, say, before another meeting next week?
I'm flexible. I'd like to do it as soon as possible
Yeah.
when we can hear from them and we have a majority of those that are interested to attend. So,
And I know that some department heads and some elected officials want, I mean, I'm sure some of them will gladly come here, do a presentation, but I also know that some want to give us tours of their department or of their office also, so I don't know how that's going to factor into it at all. I know the sheriff's one of them, wants to have us come over and see the office and the jail and everything.
I'd like to block off a day and do that. I'd be willing to.
I think that'd be great, because then you could actually visit all the offices.
I have about public officials conference that I have a PowerPoint, and I bring my district coordinator in from the Michigan State Police. Kind of gives you an overview of what they provide for us, what we provide for you, what I do, what they're responsible for. Kind of gives you the nuts and bolts of emergency management, and your responsibilities and my responsibilities. It'll take about an hour.
Yeah, I think we could build that into a day long or however long we need in a day.
Yeah, that's
Sure, I
right.
mean, that's just a suggestion.
It would probably suit most of us to go to the clerk's office, go to the treasurer's office, go to the deed's office, sheriff's office, all the other departments, get a tour of some of the places if that's necessary. And that probably would take all day to do that, so.
Well, and rather than piecemeal, each one of us showing up separately and asking us to give that same
Do it all at
presentation.
If you pick a day, I'll set up a appointment schedule.
Brandon, do you have any days coming up where you're not at school that maybe we could? Okay.
Would you mind doing that? Send us some dates and then we can follow up. So we'll go ahead and schedule the time with Bonnie next week and then plan
Let's
something.
try to
later.
shoot for something in January. Okay, probably what, the week of the 17th maybe?
I defer to Brandon, if you could available.
We'll try to do one of those days. I know it's a shortened week, it's a holiday, but 17, 18, 19, one of those days could probably work.
I'll see if anybody's on vacation at that time and let you know, and then you can choose a day, and we'll set it up.
All right, appreciate that.
So we would include the department heads, we'd include the sheriff, we'd include emergency management. Am I missing anyone, or groups? Can do that, right?
Plug them all in.
Would be outstanding. Okay. Thank you.
Do you have any other comments, Patty?
I have here county Chromebooks to be issued to the new commissioners before you leave. I'll give you this, your password and everything. If you don't want to use a Chromebook, if you prefer to use your smartphone to access, what we have is a Google Drive where the board packets are now, instead of being mailed, they're put up, and you get them 3 days earlier than by mailing them. Sometimes you get them instead of not getting them. But there are a number of resources on there. We've got all the agendas and board packets from prior years. We're slowly getting them loaded, and we'll have ordinances, everything else up there. It's also a shared workspace, which I think some of you have done, and had some frustrations with, which we're going to get our IT people, and I was hoping to fit that in around Bonnie's visit to provide, answer any questions you have, provide any training in using the old Google Drive thing. And I need to get your ID badge numbers from you when you get them, so I can have them entered into the security system that will allow you access to this building.
If I can make a request, when the new clerk gets the county directory together, can we get that electronically put into the Google Drive, all the phone numbers, emails, all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good point too. Anything else you'd like to see on there, please let me know, and I'll work with the clerk or whoever has the information to get it put up there for you. It's a private space, nobody has access to it but you, and Kaylee and I, in order to get things up and down off of it, but no one else in the county can access that information, and I've been assured it's very secure from hacking.
It's very secure, and you don't have to be on your Chromebook. You could be on a different computer, you could be in California, you could be in Europe, and you can get in there and access it all, and it's not like your computer crashes or your flash drive gets erased or whatever. It's there.
It's there. Yeah, nobody can change it either. Everything that's put there is either in PDF or locked document format, so that nobody can go in and vandalize or alter the permanent records. I'm trying to make it like a library of everything you might need.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else? Any other public comment at this time? The sheriff, the undersheriff,
I'll just take a brief minute to introduce myself. I think almost everyone except Mr. Ruff. So I'm your new sheriff, Brian McGold, and this is our new undersheriff, Robert Branshaw. And we're looking very forward to working with you guys. Cooperative with our effort.
Thank you, Sheriff. All right, if there's nothing further at this time, we'll adjourn this meeting.
I do that right?
Yeah, we'll try to get your signature on both days. So you're here.
What do you like?